All right, well, peace. Just gonna come back with another video. Hopefully, the Most High in your house shall bless y'all day. By His mercies, we aren't consumed, and that's really the case. For me right now, yeah, man. By His mercies, we aren't consumed. Hopefully, your brothers and sisters have a good day. They're out there showing that loving kindness and being better. Let's grow each and each day, and that's what I actually want to come here and talk about, man. I'm just gonna cut to the chase, to be honest, man, because we're doing a lot of self-examination. Kind of rough a couple of days. Kind of been going off lately here and there. I had to work on a lot of things. Still had to work on a lot of things, man. So, and it's funny, man, because usually, like, certain times, like, I just gotta get things together. But you know what it is too? It's crazy because it's great. Because like a lot of times now, like, like that John. I was actually talking about this with my pop the other day. But but that John 13:7, it's 13:7 is so key. But also because, like, even though it's talking about Yahushua's resurrection, things of that nature, but like, this, like Scarface song. Now I feel you, man. Like, now I understand. Like, especially being in the word. Like, that's why, like, I see why I always say that since I've been in the word and working with children. Because I was before I came in, I was in the word. I was working with youth, things of that nature. But now being in the word, I see why the Most High and Yahushua kens us to children, man. And, like, and I'm about to get that, man, because I was at school today at the a little Hamite came up to me, a little you know, he's a medic. He was Hamite, but because this is crazy too. Like, a lot of times, and that's another thing too. Like, they try to get that. They want Hamites, Hamites or Africans be new pretty much Jake. Now they really want them to replace that. That's why, like, not just not digressing off that. That's why, like, if y'all follow music things and nature, what in this current stuff like Afro beats and stuff like that, they want that to replace rap things and nature. Or a lot of times too, they it's been going for some years now, but a lot of times too, they get a lot of Hamitic people to play, like, the roles that belong to Jake or so-called black people, man. So, that's an underlying theme too. I see this is something I know. It's even like a lot of Hamites there, because no, I'm not saying all Africans, quote unquote, so-called Africans are Hamites, because some of them are, like, of the nation, but I'm saying, but a lot of times too, like, you even see those Hamites out there, like, those or Hamites or Hermetic people or quote unquote Africans. They try to look like Jake, man. The way they dress and, like, even their women, they were born like the whole bonnets now and things. This is crazy. Sometimes I can't even tell the difference too. But that's just neither here nor there. But I said it to say, man, because he said something, because he was talking about, like, me being bald, whatever. He wasn't even making fun of me. He was just, like, talking about, like, he was just acting. He was he was asking a question, like, how. I said, no. He said, I wish you had hair so I could see what your hair looked like. I told him, I do have hair. I did have hair. I just don't have any more. Like, then he talked about how his grandfather from Africa, how his grandfather passed away like 3 years ago, 2021. So he said my grandfather is in heaven right now. So okay, cool, because I don't want to tell him, like, well, one, that's up to Most High Yahusha. I don't, like, cause listen. That's why 2 Ezra 7:19 says he's the ultimate judge. Like, we're all gonna have to sit upon the what you call him, this the seat of Yahushua, judgment seat of Yahushua, man. Just see the Most High Yahushua, man. So so in those books being opened up, man. Actually, what I'm kind of talking about right now. So that's what I'm going into. So yeah, after he said that, he said, listen, I want to go to heaven. And then he looked at me and said, do you want to go to heaven? I was like, you know what? I gave him a handshake. I was like, yeah, man, yeah, little man, I do want to go. And that's what you get. Honestly, that's why Proverbs says, what, out of the mouth of babes. Like, and in Psalms, Proverbs, a lot of scripture goes out of the mouth of babes. And that's why Yahweh said, what, forbid not little children, man. Like, And also too, even though he's Hermetic, but also too, man, like, because Yahushua being, let me get this too, man, because at the end of the day, now, of course, the promises, all that stuff, the kingdom, the promises goes to Israel. We already know that. Second Ezra says the world for our created for our sakes. The Acts, even the disciples, actually, how shall I Acts 1:6, like, when you restore the kingdom back to Israel, but that's of the Most High, but in the Most High's kingdom is going to go back to the garden, but Yahushua is going to give the kingdom to the Father. But let me say this too, because, like, shout out to brother from Assembly of Firstborn, because yeah, man, because with Yahushua being the priesthood of Melchizedek, like, all nations will have, like, access to the gospel though. So that's why I even mentioned the little Hermetic, like, student, like, like, even though he's from the line of Ham, he's quote unquote African, like, him. I'm not saying, like, I'm not sure if his parents believe in the word or not. They probably are they're probably in Christianity. I'm not sure, probably so, but it is what it is. Oh, Lord willing, they do come in the word, but but yeah, they'll have access. That's what that Psalms 87:4 is about. Like, I'll remember those that remember me, pretty much. Or I'll acknowledge those that acknowledge me. So, Yahweh shall be in the priesthood of Melchizedek. Genesis 14, like, there's no 12 tribes, like, of for that priesthood of Melchizedek. So Yahweh shall be in that, all the other nations will receive the gospel. Like, and this what, they'll receive it. Now, if it's up to them that they accept it. Because, listen, the Most High Yahweh, they coming for everybody, man. So, like, it is about the right, like Brother Kwame 4:4 says, about the righteous or the wicked. So that's just is what it is. So, like, and don't get me wrong, of course, like these other nations for what they did. I'm not just casting aspersions at all. They're gonna pay, like, for what they done things, and they're the Most High Yahweh's enemies. Honestly, they before we, like, before that. Let that be known. I always say it like this too, since crazy. I was going over my LeBron the Cavs one earlier, but how that whole Psalms 83 these other nations be our enemy. It's all because, like, because who our Father is, man. Like, it's not really of nothing that we done. I always think about this latest NBA draft, this latest summer NBA season. Like, with Bronny and LeBron James, people only dislike and hate Bronny because the father, because they don't like LeBron. So that's the same dynamic with us and, like, the children of Israel, and, like, the Most High Yahweh, man, they hate them, so they're gonna take it out on the son. So I think I touched on a video about that, but yeah, because since I mentioned that, and also too that Hebrews 11, man, like, even Rahab was a medic, and other people, like, shoot, Ruth had the faith of Abraham. So I used to think that Ruth was an Israelite, but I kind of had to rehash that, and, like, just going with the text, like, even though the brother Tribe of Judah teacher went over that, like, he did a pretty good, like, video lesson about that a while ago, and I was studying text around that time, and I thought it was true, but actually reading the Ruth again, like, it was like a year or so ago, and it's like, no, it's just like, she's a Moabite, is what it is. But Ruth was born of the word. Ruth had the faith of Abraham, because if we read Ruth, she did everything that Abraham did in Genesis 12. So let me just make that clear, because I know I'm digressing, but going back to Rahab point, because in Hebrews 11, Rahab is there. Listen, man, Rahab is there, but a lot of our ancestors, a lot of our forefathers, a lot of Israelites aren't there, man. So, like, so it is what it is too. So they gotta keep that in mind. But don't get it twisted, because the promise in the kingdom always is going to Israel. But it's the Most High Yahweh's kingdom. But the promises go to that. The book tell you that, like, Romans 9 and Peter and all that stuff, and all other places. But it's just is what it is. So let me grab this though, to this point though, because he said, do you want to go to heaven, man? So, and you gotta ask yourself that, man. I know, my bad, y'all, I'm king of digressing, but I just wanted to point that out too. Yeah. It said Matthew chapter 19 verse 14. Because, yeah, man, because out of my favorites, it's like a lot of times I see why the Most High Yahushua kens us to children. He says, but Yahushua says, suffer little children, forbid them not to come unto me, for such is the kingdom of heaven. Exactly. That's kind of reminds me of, like, what the student told me earlier. I was like, I looked at him, but, like, yeah, even though with the mess I'm doing right now, things that even self-examination, it's like, yeah, but at the end of the day, you gotta ask yourself that. Like, listen, do you really want to dwell with this man, the Most High Yahshua? Do you want to do this? Is your life lining up to that? I'm talking about myself, man. Seriously, like, think about, like, that Haggai. Like, think upon it about your ways. Let me get this Haggai 1:7. And so before judgment, examine thyself like Sirach. And, like, judge yourself and see if you're really in the faith, like Corinthians, man. So, like, yeah, man, it's just like, you have to have that fear and that of the Most High Yahshua, man. Haggai chapter 1 verse 7. It says, thus said the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Exactly, man. Exactly. Consider your ways, man. Honestly, consider it. Think. Take heed upon your ways. Examine. Like, and also too, man, like that Jeremiah and that Galatians, man. Like, gotta bear your own burden, man. And that 1 Peter 2:20 stuff that I'm doing, I can't, like, can't expect nothing, like, when I'm doing something or some type of sympathy, man. It's like, because the Most High Yahshua, they about action. Yahshua was what? In Luke 24, what did they say about him? He said that the mighty prophet that not only what he said, but what he did. Oh, and it even says that about Moses. Like, he's the mighty prophet that did as well. Like, and all other righteous forefathers of righteous men in this book, man, sons of God in this book, man. Exactly, man. That was stamped by the Most High Yahushua, man. They did it. Their life. Noah walked with the Most High Yahushua, man. Noah walked with him. It was his life. Like, even all that stuff, man. So, it is what it is. Yeah, man. But like, let me grab this Matthew again, man. Because and like Isaiah says, like, he is a reward too, like on this side and the next, man. And the kingdom's inwardly, man. That's why it says, like, the kingdom's within you is the spirit, man. So that's why it even says that Thessalonians goes into, don't quench the spirit, man. So, like, don't even, do you want that kingdom, but do you want both kingdoms? Do you want the kingdom within? That's the most important one. That's to get to the kingdom, the physical kingdom, but also too, do you want the physical one as well, man? Because I gotta ask myself that, man. How am I living, like, my life, man? It's gotta be better. Because even like, even even if it's something small stuff, like, because even sometimes you get counsel from different brothers that you may know, or like, brothers that, like, that's brothers in the word, like, things in nature, brothers personally, even if something not that, like, they might give you certain counsel, say, oh man, don't worry about that, it's not that, like, that's just is what it is. It's just but still, man, the scriptures say, man, wise man feareth in everything, man. So, like, yeah, man, it's gotta have a self-examination, think, consider. But it says, suffer little children and forbid them not. Come unto me, for such is the kingdom of heaven. So yeah, man. And remember this too, man. Let me get this too. It's all right, man. The kingdom, both kingdoms, man, within and the actual one, man. But yeah, man, let me grab this Iraq real quick, man, because I was watching I was watching I watched the show BMF, like, things in the nature about Big Meech and the whole, quote unquote, the whole Black Mafia family, the whole drug organization, crime organization back in the late 80s, 90s. They run to past like 2000 to 2000. That's why even too, like, man, that's why it goes into, like, Proverbs goes into this on the side. Proverbs goes into that, like, wealth that's dishonestly gained will turn like gravel in the mouth, or the wealth like dishonestly gained is not going to last very long. Because honestly, think about all the so-called, like, even Sirach goes into that, like, if you that life you're gonna perish in it if you like a dangerous life. Because think about that. Just speaking on the show, just speaking on that in general, man. Because, like, a lot of our brothers and sisters in the streets, man, like, a lot of our brothers, I should say, even sisters, but a lot of brothers in that, like, our people are in that activity, man. But they want to get, this hard to say about too, but my homie and my brother too, like, they want to get into that lifestyle too, but they don't recognize the mastermind part of it. They just, like, watch Power or something and think they could do that. But anyway, man, I think the brother Carcino, like, years ago mentioned this too. If you name the whole biggest, like, the drug organization of our people, like, it didn't last over like 10 years. I think BMF, like, that was probably the only one that lasted like over 10 years. But usually that stuff that doesn't last long too, man. But that's neither here nor there, man. Yeah, let me just grab the Iraq though real quick, man, because yeah, man, because this, but what she said that in BMF, the mother, she said to what you call him, Lil Meech, the one who plays Big Meech's son, the one who plays his father in the show. She said, listen, man, what we do. She said, listen, son, what we do not only affects in this life, but in the next, man. And that's really a fact, though. That really stuck out to me. I think it was in season 1 or season 2. It might have been season 1, but that's just a fact, though, man. It's just like, and that's what this scripture always comes to mind. Like, what she said there always comes to mind. And, what, in this Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 36, also known as Sirach chapter 7, verse 36, it says, whatsoever thou takest in thy hand, remember the end, and thou shalt never do amiss. Yeah, man. So what's that saying, man? So remember what, like, pretty much the end of everything, man. Remember what you do, man. That's why that wasn't. Let's look at this again. It says, whatsoever thou takest in hand, remember the end, thou shalt never do amiss. So yeah, man. So remember, think about the end of things, man. That's why, like, Wisdom of Solomon says that. Now this is not only going to, like, something like suicide, but this is going into your life, man. Don't be so self-destructive, man. Getting in your own way, like which some I'm struggling with a lot, like Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 verse 12. It says, "Seek not death in the air upon your life, and pull not your soul destruction in the works of your hands." So, yeah, man, that's just is what it is, man. So, remember the end of things, man. God really do you want the kingdom? Have arranged your life like that? I'm talking about myself. God, evaluate, examine these things, man. One, the inward kingdom, the inner man, the inward man, and two, man, are you am I not me saying you, I should say me, am I actually doing these things, man? Do I actually want it, man? Because because that's what that not the prodigal son, that's what that parable is about. The one son said, he's gonna do it, then the other then the other didn't. I mean, then he didn't. The other one did it when he said what he was going to do. First shall be last, last shall be first. The Isaiah 29:24. Many that shall murmur, many that murmur in spirit, but shall learn doctrine. What the doctrine of Yahushua, the testimony, new covenant, things of that nature. So that's just what it is, man. Going back to that point I made, a lot of our brothers, our people out there in the streets, man, shout out to brother Kwame Call and the brother Mashah, man. He even said that. He said, listen, man. There's a brother out there that's in that lifestyle might be the most gangsters do right now, in the streets, but he might be a part of the elect. Or like he said, this might be he even said, like the brother Kwame he even said, and he said there might be a sister, she might be she might be a hoe right now, she might be a harlot, but really, the Most High in your house, I might touch the spirit. She's like Esther, man. She's she's like Esther. She's like Susanna. She's like Abigail. She could turn that, man. That's why I did that video about what weeks ago about the publican, your house. I said what the publicans and harlots will end. Let's just get it. Because they're gonna go harder because they know. Let's get Matthew, and that kind of goes into that when we mentioned Rahab earlier. So hey, she's a perfect example because this is an account of that. She's an account of this. She's an example of this. And that's crazy too. So I know I said this too. Like Joshua, he had a Canaanite woman follow, believe. Came to him and believe. Joshua, which is the first Yahushua, had a Canaanite woman that believed, and the second one that had belief too. I think that dichotomy is always interesting. But let's get that Matthew chapter 21 verse 31. It says, "Whether of them did twain," this is the parable I just meant. Yeah, "whether of them did twain did the will of his father, they said unto him, the first, Yahushua said unto him, verily I say unto you, that the publicans and the harlots go into the kingdom of Yahweh before you." So yeah, man. Like I just mentioned, and also too, man, I was kind of reading Proverbs because today's the 6th. I was reading Proverbs 6 the other day. Today earlier, and that Proverbs 6 is that one is key because what it says. Listen, if you're a surety, to be in a surety. Also, this also means keeping your word, but also if you be responsible for paying somebody's debt, you gotta come back humbly, man, and that's what it is, man. That's why the was the second son was the son that did the will of the father was justified in this because he humbled himself, man. But the first one's kind of like yeah, I'll do it. It's kind of proud, so that's that first shot. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. But yeah, man, that's just pretty much it on that, man. Yeah, so I gotta ask myself that, got a self-examination, man, So yeah, man. So hopefully this is edifying, man. So yeah, man, out of the mouth of babes, man. That's why Yahushua said, "What forbid them not," because you'll learn a lot about yourself listening to children, man. It's different between the Most High and Yahushua. They the Alpha and Omega. They not learning about something about themselves by listening to their actual children. But it is what it is, man. So hopefully it's edifying, man. So peace.